Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Can we continue, sir?
Yes, yes, you can start. You can begin present.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Good morning. Our research paper topic name is resume classifications using various machine learning algorithms. So there are total 4 authors who contributed in this research paper. Myself, Shahrukh, Shaikh, my colleague Riya and Swaraj Satpute, and Sumedha Bhagwat ma'am. And we have achieved this goal under the guidance of Miss Sumedha Bhagwat ma'am. This is the table of contents. So let's go towards the abstract part. Riya will explain now.
So in early 2020 and 2021, when COVID was at its peak, we had to go through online recruitment process, and so all the companies started to adopt any existing setups that were available at that time, whether it was good or not. So we thought of like making a machine learning based model that can classify uh, a candidate's resume based on their skills, and also based on the skills it can predict a suitable job profile for the same using the model. So now we move on to the literature survey. Here we have mentioned 4 papers, but in our research paper we have mentioned way more than this. So the first paper from left to right, which is this one, text classification using machine learning model and deep learning model. The first paper helped us to guide through all the existing machine learning algorithms, their efficiency, their workflow, and it gave us information about the advantages and disadvantages in the field of text classification. Then the second paper from 2020 uses machine learning algorithms, CNN, TF-IDF vectorization to classify resume according to the LinkedIn profile descriptions. The dataset they mentioned contained resume and LinkedIn profiles of 1,000 applicants. And out of all the algorithms that they use, support vector machine, that is the SVM algorithm, gave them the highest F1 score of 0.61. Then the third paper is the CV recommendation system. The system finds out CVs that match a certain job description. Means you have a certain job description and you want to filter out resumes for that particular job. So this is what the paper is about. They have used KNN algorithm, SVM, random forest, and naive Bayes, and the dataset is taken from Kaggle, but the dataset size and the description of the dataset was not given. The accuracy that was achieved was 78% using random forest. Then the last research paper is based on research paper classification to find research papers online. As people find it difficult to find the proper required research papers, so these people have made a model that can group similar research papers together. They have used TF-IDF, which is term frequency inverse document frequency, which basically gives the words or gives the documents their most frequency count. So using TF-IDF vectorization and latent Dirichlet allocation, it is also used for grouping documents. So they have used these two things, and they have taken 500 research papers into consideration. The research paper does not mention a specific accuracy count, but they have displayed a lot of graphs which show excellent results, and they are able to group similar research papers together. Then what were the gaps that were identified in literature survey? It is majorly that we were not able to find a proper
Riya, you
unified.
have to move fast in the Riya,
Yes, sir.
Riya, you will have to move fast. You have spent a lot of time in literature survey. Come to the point, come to your exact problem, what solutions you have proposed,
Yes,
and
sir.
then you have to finish your presentation in now 5 minutes only.
Yes, sir. So the problem in the
Yeah.
literature survey that we were not able to find recent research papers. That was the biggest problem. and then the problem statement. Swaraj will continue from here.
So our project aims to minimize manual work of the HR committee who has to go through all the resumes during the recruitment process manually. The next is classification of skills according to the job categories. And finally, we want to build a model of those algorithms so that it can be exported and used for the various new applications. So this is the proposed flowchart for our system. So we have gathered data from Kaggle.com, Indeed.com, and Glassdoor.com and prepared a dataset containing 10,000 rows, having skills, job profiles for those skills. And then we have processed the data as in we have removed the stop words, make the text lowercase and perform stemming and lemming, and then applied it to the TF-IDF vectorization to find out which words have the most relevance. Over that, we have applied label encoding to convert data into numerical input, which can be fed to the machine learning classification algorithm. Next, we have tested our data set on 3 algorithms, such as SVM, nice Bayes, and random forest, out of which random forest seems to have the best accuracy. And lastly, we have plotted the confusion matrix to analyze the correctness of the model. So this is the result of the project. We have mentioned already mentioned these 3 algorithms: naive Bayes, SVM, and random forest. And to analyze the model, we have printed accuracy, precision, recall, and the F1 score. So this is the confusion matrix. Confusion matrix will show us an idea of how good the model is working. The diagonals will show our correctly predicted outcomes.
The diagonals show the true positive values of the model. Here are all the job classes like artificial intelligence, big data, business analyst, and like this is the confusion matrix where we have plotted the job classes, and here we have confusion matrix of random forest algorithm.
So scope and benefits of the system. We can export the model, and this model can be used for several other job-based applications, like for example, a resume ranking system and a resume verification system.
So coming to the conclusion parts, thus our system will help to classify jobs according to the skills of the candidate and will save the time in company hiring process. Also, we have learned about various machine learning terms like SVM, naive Bayes, and random forest in this research paper. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Any questions from audience? Okay, there are no questions from audience. What class? I will ask couple maybe. What classes have you considered for your classification? What are the how many number of classes and which classes in which you are classifying your resume?
Sir, there are total 26 classes. All are based on the IT field, like software engineer, software developer, data analyst, data scientist.
Classes, whichever
data.
like from artificial intelligence to technology integration, everything that we have in our engineering course.
In total, there are 26 different classes.
Okay. Okay, so these 26 different classes you have considered: artificial intelligence, full stack developer, etc. Okay. Fine, and this is your confusion matrix.
Yes.
Yes.
Fine. Then you had shown one table about accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score.
Yes, sir.
So what can you tell? So what can you tell about differences between them? What is the, let's say, what is the just say difference between accuracy and precision?
Like formulas for accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. Like we have true positives, and we have like 4 values: true positive, true negatives. Then we have false positive and false negatives. So they have their own formulas. Accuracy is the average of all of these, and in precision, recall, and F1 score we have certain formulas for them. So all of them, they tell us that how accurate it is according to the true positive values.
Okay. Okay, fine. So I will ask again if the audience has any question to ask the authors. If anyone from the audience, no, then the paper ID 52 is completed, presented. We'll